Guys, today I am filming a video that I have dreaded filming for the past couple of weeks, but it needs to happen. So today I'm officially starting my no-buy. So I'm starting a no-buy for a couple of reasons. I wrote this down when I filmed this the first time. This is my second time filming this video. I filmed it last week, 2 weeks ago, and I went to go find the footage to edit the video today, to like edit it a little bit in advance, and it was nowhere to be found. So let me go grab my notes. Okay, we're good now. I got my notes. But there are a couple reasons that I'm doing this no-buy. One of them being, I've done a lot of stress shopping lately. I feel like at the beginning of this whole quarantine in like March and April, those months were really bad for me. I did really, really good in May and June. July and August have been less good. And so I'm taking a break. I'm taking myself off of makeup shopping train. In the past, I put myself on really strict makeup budgets, and I feel like that works to an extent, but also I feel like when I have that, I still have permission for myself to shop. And so sometimes with myself, if I give myself an inch, I take a mile. And I feel like that's what was happening with my very limited makeup budget. I mean, it was working in some ways, but in other ways it wasn't working. And so if I go back to that, I think I need to find a new process. But anyways, so now I've decided to just completely remove the option from buying makeup from my life, from my wallet, all of that. And I'm hoping that by choosing to kind of just cut myself off cold turkey, I will have an easier time resisting it, because I feel like when I can still do it, there's this little voice in my head that's saying like, you can still buy makeup even if you have to stick to a budget, or you can just go into next month's budget or whatever. It just was not working. And so I've decided to cut myself off cold turkey. I'm going to take it month by month, but my goal is to cut myself off until the week before Black Friday. And I've chosen that week because I feel like that's enough time for me to kind of reset my mindset, and that's really my whole goal of this makeup no-buy. I just kind of want to reset my mind, especially in a couple different categories. I feel like I've done really, really well at cutting down my purchases in a lot of makeup categories, but there's one category in particular, comment down below if you know what I'm going to say, that I struggle with, and it is eyeshadow. I am an eyeshadow junkie, you guys. I love eyeshadow. It's the part of makeup that I get the most excited to do. I literally will just sit in my little makeup space and cover my arms in eyeshadow for like hours, and I will be happy as a clam. It's my favorite part of makeup, but realistically, I cannot keep buying more eyeshadow, at least not at the rate that I've been going, if I want to continue to use and love the makeup that I already own. And I've actually noticed within myself that when I'm constantly bringing eyeshadow palettes in, I get like stressed about it, which is like the weird, it's not like the weirdest thing, but it's the weirdest thing that I don't like recognize that and say, hey dummy, stop buying eyeshadow palettes. But I've also recognized it to myself during quarantine that I am the happiest when I am digging into my collection on a regular basis. And so I do have a couple of strategies that I've come up with to kind of help me stick to my no-buy through this couple month period. I'm excited but also really nervous about this, you guys. I think it's gonna be really good for me, but it's gonna be like an uncomfortable process because makeup shopping is one of my stress coping mechanisms, and I'm going back to school in about a week, so I'm feeling the stress pile on. But I am excited nonetheless, and I'm excited to share this journey with you guys. I know a lot of you have gone through no-buys or extreme low-buys, so if you have any tips or tricks, please leave them for me in the comments down below. But let's hop into the couple of strategies that I've come up with to kind of help myself stick to this no-buy. Okay, so the first strategy that I came up with is I'm going to really focus on duping the function of a product versus just the look of it. And by that, I mean a lot of the time, okay, not a lot of the time, some of the time, I get stuck on the like look of a product. Like let's say I decide that I want a red blush. I don't own a red blush in my collection, but you know what I do own? I own a lot of red lipstick, and lipstick can easily be used as blush, or I could probably even put it on my eyes as long as it's eye safe. So instances like that where I already have products that can create that look for me or serve that function for me, but may not be like that product specifically. I've gotten much better at doing this over the past couple of years. Like I'm leaps and bounds better than I was like maybe 2 years ago at doing this, but I'm still a work in progress. I'm still growing and working to get better at that. So that's my first strategy. So my second strategy is really geared toward my eyeshadow junkiness, my eyeshadow palette buying addiction, and that is I'm committing to creating 3 looks with every single palette in my collection between now and the end of the year. So I'm not sure if I'm not gonna film all these for my channel. I'm probably not even gonna put all of them on Instagram because in reality I don't always create looks that I feel like are Instagram worthy, if you guys know what I mean. Like on my Instagram I like to showcase looks that are, they don't necessarily have to be like overly complicated, but just a little more glam than like my everyday I'm gonna throw one shade in the crease and slap something on the lid. But I would really like to get some use out of every single palette in my collection before the end of the year, and that's like so silly for me to even say out loud because I should be using all of my palettes at least once before the end of the year. I should be using them like 4 or 5 times before the end of the year. So I'm hoping that this will reinforce my need to really like dig into my own eyeshadow palette collection and just really love on what I have and kind of reignite my love for some forgotten shades and forgotten favorites. And to kind of go hand in hand with that, my third strategy is to schedule in makeup playtime 3 to 4 times a week. You guys, if I had enough time in my day, I would play for makeup with at least an hour every single day. It is my happy place. It just brings me so much joy and I feel so much more like myself by the time that I'm done. I love being creative. I love digging into my products. And I think not only is this going to be good for my mental health, but I think it's also going to really help me focus on the products that I have and loving on them. So those are the strategies that I'm hopefully going to employ to kind of make sure I stick to this no buy. There are a couple of exceptions to the no buy. I am allowed to buy a single powder if I run out of my Beauty Bakery flour powder. I have quite a bit of this left, definitely over half. But if for some reason I run out or like I drop it and it spills everywhere, I'm gonna allow myself to buy another powder because this is the only powder I have in my collection right now. It's the only loose powder I have in my collection right now. And that's really been my preference for kind of setting down my face and definitely my under eyes. So I'm okay with letting myself buy another loose powder or some other kind of setting powder. And then I think mascara was the only other exception I was going to allow myself. I need a new mascara every 3 to 4 months. I know my CoverGirl one is like 2.5, 3 months in. It's getting towards the end of the bottle and I can feel that I'm going to need another one. So I'm also going to allow myself to purchase mascara throughout this no buy, but everything else, it's no go, you guys. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any no buy tips and tricks, leave them for me in the comments down below. I'm excited and nervous. I have a lot of video ideas planned out around kind of the theme of my no buy that I'm really excited to share with you guys, but like actually doing it, I'm a little nervous. So that's gonna wrap it up today. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!